Hello everyone, today we're at South Coast Karting in Bournemouth for some banditry in a public session, as we immediately send it down the inside of Josh, but the parts have been cut off, and then we go back to racing. If I go down the inside of the back marker, Josh gets an insane switchback, lovely switchback Josh, sending it down our inside into the second hairpin. We get him straight back down the inside, having none of it. And again, we've sent it down the inside at turn 1. Lovely move from us. And then we get squeezed by a back marker, and Josh goes all the way around the outside of the final corner. Good move again. And then, once again, we're down the inside into the last chicane, cutting him off, not letting him have any of it. Now we go defensive here into the second set of chicanes. Somebody spun there, don't know what they're doing there. I thought the brakes a bit too hard. But this person ahead doesn't see Josh. Brakes, I have to react. I have to go all the way around the outside of both of them, and I'm through. I like that quite a lot, I got quite excited. But that's the checker flag for the first session. So we give Josh a fist bump. And then on to the second session.
Right, session 2 is now underway, and in this session we get held up quite a bit, as in number 14. And due to this time, Charlie isn't able to get a nice run through both of us down to the final corner, but I do get the switch back and set him up for a nice move down into turn 2 at the first set of hairpin, which this is then starts, well, this is the start of our then 2-lap long battle. And unlike in the first session, I actually do defend, so coming into the final few corners now, I do hold a defensive line, getting a little nudge there from Charlie. Once again, still on the defensive, and coming into turn 1, for the first time, I actually decide to defend it, unlike session 1. You see Charlie getting a bit frustrated there, but here I do go wide, and he does get the look at me, so I managed to hold it. It's coming through here now where I did leave the inside open for him, and he took it, which you'd expect him to. And then here he decides to cut me off, and in reaction to that, I look up and go straight, basically. So now it is Charlie back in front, and I'm behind him. Cutting forward in the session, we get held up once again, me having to avoid the car, allowing Charlie to get the run, and for some reason I decide not to defend turn that again. With that, Charlie now back in front, with him trying to get past, but they end up spinning themselves out, which it's quite funny at the time for us. And here Charlie does get back down my inside, and to be honest, not much happened there after that. I did just kind of leave the gap open for him, and here we did get a red flag, which is quite uncommon in South Coast public sessions, but somehow there ended up 2 carts off into the grass in the wall, which is quite unexpected, to be honest. And here Charlie gets an amazing run around the outside of me, but I do try to come back at him, but because of the number 14 cart, once again I do have to bail out of the move. And now Charlie is now trying to get back past that 14 cart, but he did he caused us quite a bit of trouble in that session, because mainly of how unpredictable they were to get past. As you see, Charlie eventually does get side by side, but I then get overtaken, and they end up going almost through right into turn 1, but Charlie does get the run and manages to pull ahead. And finally I do get past number 14 eventually. And so yeah, Charlie then lets through the other car, and then decides he doesn't want to anymore and cuts back in front, and I was stuck behind the rest of the session because there wasn't long left. And now it's the end of the session and Charlie's having his little autism lean moment, which, to be honest, I don't know why I didn't do it. I kind of just forgot. And moving on to our best lap of the day comparisons, Charlie ended up with the quicker lap time. I wasn't far off. It is my new PB. Charlie's having set his new PB as well. However, I know I can go faster, and at the time I did feel like the car was low on acceleration. But the more, well, now that I've thought about it, it was just me not getting the exits that I should have been to go faster. But at the end of the day, the new PB is a new PD. That's the end.